There will come a moment in your life when you sit alone in silence and realize that not everything needs to be understood. Not every pain has a reason, not every loss can be explained, and not every dream will become real. And in that silence, when your mind finally stops asking why, a strange kind of peace begins to appear. A quiet acceptance, like the sea, calm after a long storm. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means breathing again after holding your breath for too long. It means no longer fighting against the waves, but learning how to float. We spend most of our lives trying to fix, control, and explain everything that happens to us. We think peace will come when everything goes our way, but peace never arrives that way. Peace comes when we stop demanding that life should always go our way. Sometimes acceptance begins in heartbreak, when something breaks inside us so deeply that we can no longer pretend we're in control. And when the tears finally dry, you realize life was never meant to be controlled. It was meant to be lived, experienced, and felt fully. When you learn to accept life as it is, you start to see beauty in imperfection. You begin to understand that the flower doesn't rush to bloom, the river doesn't question its path, and the sun doesn't apologize for setting. Everything simply is. And that is enough. There's a quiet wisdom in accepting what is, not because you like it, but because you trust that it belongs. That everything unfolding, even the painful parts, carries a hidden rhythm only time can reveal. Acceptance is not the end of growth. It's the soil where growth begins. It's the moment you stop resisting your reality and start listening to it. Because life whispers to you, not in moments of control, but in moments of surrender. Maybe the reason you suffer is not because life is cruel, but because you keep expecting it to be something it's not. You want it to always be fair, always be kind, always reward effort. But life is not a transaction. It's an unfolding mystery. And the more you try to bend it to your will, the more it breaks you. When you start to let go, slowly, like leaves falling in autumn, you'll realize life becomes lighter. You stop carrying the heavy bags of should and must and begin to travel freely, barefoot with open hands. To accept life as it is to trust that every season has its purpose. The winters of your soul are not punishment, they are rest. The summers are not rewards, they are renewal. Everything is part of the same dance. You can't rush the rhythm of life. You can only dance with it. There's beauty in waiting too. In the slow unfolding of days, in unanswered prayers, in the silence between words. Because in those spaces, your heart learns patience, and patience honors love in motion. You may not always get what you want, but you will always get what you need, even if what you need is a lesson in letting go. Sometimes life closes doors not to punish you, but to move you, to make you leave the room that no longer fits who you are becoming. And even though it hurts, that pain is a compass. It's showing you where to go next. You see, acceptance is not about being passive. It's about being deeply awake. It's the courage to face reality as it is, without trying to rewrite it. To stand in the middle of chaos and still whisper, "This too is life." Look at the trees. They lose their leaves every year, yet they never complain. They don't cling to what was. They trust the process of becoming bare because they know spring will come again. And perhaps that's the wisdom we must learn: to let go gracefully, to wait patiently, to trust deeply. Every time you fight what is, you exhaust your spirit. But when you surrender, not in defeat, but in trust, life begins to flow again. Acceptance doesn't remove the pain, but it removes the unnecessary suffering that comes from resistance. You still feel sadness, disappointment, and loss, but they pass through you gently, like clouds drifting across the sky. Because you no longer try to stop the clouds from moving. The truth is, peace is not found in changing the world. Peace is found in changing the way you see the world. When you learn to stop labeling things as good or bad, success or failure, you begin to see everything as part of one vast tapestry, woven together by moments both light and dark. And that tapestry in its wholeness is what makes life beautiful. Maybe the point was never to have a perfect life, but to have a peaceful heart in an imperfect one. When you start to live that way, small things begin to matter again. The sound of rain becomes music, the morning light becomes a blessing, and silence becomes a teacher. You realize you don't need to chase anything, not happiness, not success, not love. Because what's meant for you will always find its way, and what's not will quietly fade away, no matter how tightly you hold on. So breathe. Let life be what it is. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are simply unfolding, exactly as you should. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is nothing. Not because you've given up, but because you finally learned to let life move through you, not against you. And in that stillness, in that quiet surrender, you'll realize life has always been on your side. Even in your hardest moments, it was guiding you here, to this peace, to this understanding. Acceptance is not weakness. It's strength wearing silence. You are not what happens to you. You are the awareness behind it all. The calm witness watching the storms come and go, knowing that none of them can touch the sky itself. And you are that sky. There comes a moment when you begin to understand life is not something to be solved, it's something to be experienced. And the more you try to hold it still, the more it slips through your fingers. You start to see that everything in this world is temporary. People, emotions, days, even dreams. But that doesn't make them meaningless. It makes them precious, because it's their impermanence that gives them beauty. Like the sunset, it's breathtaking, not because it lasts, but because it ends. Like the laughter shared between two souls. It's beautiful because you can never repeat it in quite the same way again. Everything you love will pass through your hands, and that is what makes love sacred. When you truly accept this, that nothing stays, you stop clinging. You begin to live with open hands. You stop trying to possess the people you love, and instead you learn to appreciate them as they are, for as long as they are meant to stay. Because love that clings will always suffer, but love that accepts, that love is free. To accept life as it is to live in harmony with time itself. You stop chasing the future and replaying the past. You start living now. This moment, this breath, this heartbeat. This is where life happens. The past is a memory, the future is a dream, but this moment is real. And when you live fully in this moment, you realize you have everything you need. Awareness is the heart of acceptance. It's not about being numb or indifferent. It's about being deeply alive, awake to the constant flow of change around you. When you stop fighting reality, you begin to participate in it consciously. And that is where peace begins, not in control, but in communion. You see, there's a quiet revolution that happens when you stop trying to make life different. You begin to see again. You notice the small details you used to overlook. The sound of wind passing through leaves, the rhythm of your own breathing, the gentle light resting on your skin. You realize that these moments are not small. They are life. And somewhere along the way, you understand. Happiness was never something to be chased. It was something that appears naturally when you stop running. You don't need to find peace. You simply need to stop disturbing it. It's already within you, beneath all the noise and fear and wanting. Like the ocean's depth beneath the surface waves, it has always been calm. The art of acceptance is also the art of trust. Trust that what is unfolding in front of you, even when it feels uncertain, is exactly what needs to unfold. Because everything you've been through, even the pain, has been shaping you into someone capable of understanding this moment. You've survived everything you thought you couldn't. You've healed from pain you once believed would last forever. You've grown in the dark even when you didn't realize it. And that is the quiet miracle of acceptance. It doesn't erase the darkness, it helps you see the stars. The truth is, life will not always be kind. You will lose things, people, and versions of yourself. You will walk through nights that feel endless. But if you keep walking, morning always comes, because the sun never forgets to rise, even when the world seems lost in shadow. So don't rush your healing. Don't demand answers before you're ready. Some things take time, and time itself is part of the medicine. When you learn to flow with time, not against it, life becomes softer. You begin to understand that peace isn't something that arrives one day. It's something you practice daily in small ways. In choosing calm instead of chaos, in choosing forgiveness instead of anger, in choosing to breathe when all you want to do is run. Acceptance also means forgiving yourself for not knowing better, for falling, for breaking, for being human. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to grow, to feel, to live, to love, to fall, and to rise again. When you can look at your past without flinching, when you can see your mistakes and still hold yourself with compassion, you've already learned one of life's greatest lessons. You don't need to be flawless to be worthy of peace. You've done your best with what you knew at the time. That is enough. You are enough. And in this understanding, the weight begins to fall away. You start to feel lighter, not because the world has changed, but because your relationship with the world has. Acceptance transforms everything, not by changing what is outside, but by softening what is inside. You learn to stop arguing with reality. You stop saying, "This shouldn't have happened," and instead ask, "What is life teaching me here?" And that shift, that one gentle shift, changes everything. Soon you realize every challenge has carved a deeper space within you, a space where empathy grows, where patience lives, where wisdom blooms. You become softer but stronger. You become quieter but clearer. You stop shouting for life to be fair, and instead, you start listening. Because when you truly listen, you discover life has always been speaking to you. Through the ache in your heart, through the pause between your breaths, through the silence after loss, it's been saying, "You are still here. Keep going." There's something profoundly beautiful about that. To simply continue, to exist, to breathe, even when nothing makes sense. That is strength, that is grace, that is acceptance. And one day you will look back on all of it, the heartbreaks, the detours, the uncertainty, and you will understand every moment brought you closer to yourself. Every ending was a beginning in disguise. Every loss taught you how to love more truthfully. Because that's what life is, a constant rhythm of holding on and letting go, of learning and unlearning, of falling apart and becoming whole again. When you finally stop fighting the flow, you become part of it. You move with life, not against it, and that is where freedom lives. True freedom is not doing whatever you want. It's being at peace no matter what happens. It's realizing that you don't need to fix everything to feel whole, because wholeness was never lost. It was only forgotten. So as you sit here breathing quietly, let the world be as it is. Let the past rest. Let tomorrow come when it's ready, and let today be enough. You are not late. You are not lost. You are exactly where you need to be. Maybe that's what acceptance really is. Not giving up, not losing hope, but returning to yourself again and again until you remember you were never separate from peace. You were peace all along. The river never asks where it's going. It simply flows. The moon doesn't worry about shining. It simply glows. The tree doesn't fear the wind. It simply bends. And maybe you too can live like that. Flow, glow, bend, and trust. Because when you trust, life opens. The noise fades, the fear softens, and you begin to feel something ancient inside you. A quiet knowing that says, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. And in that knowing, you smile, not because life is perfect, but because you finally see it clearly. You've come home, not to a place, but to a state of being, a stillness that says, I am here, I am alive, and that is enough.